Today, 5 legendary cooks from 5 different cities will teach you how to make their most outrageous, mouth-watering, delicious dishes. This is Countdown to Delicious, starring from Los Angeles, chef to the stars, TikTok sensation, Chef Lovely. You know him as TheYumYumFoodie, social media star, Mr. Miami, Eddie Zamora, the queen of Southern comfort food. From Atlanta, Georgia, Chef Tregaye. Mom, influencer, the kitchen genius from San Diego, Kelsey Nixon. And finally, from London, 4-time best-selling author, the star of Fitwaffle, Miss Eloise. Let's start the Countdown to Delicious. First, let's fly to gorgeous San Diego, California, where Kelsey Nixon will teach you her #1 recipe of all time, her crispy, super cheesy baked ziti, in just 3 minutes.
Hey guys, I'm Kelsey, and today I'm making my most popular recipe of all time. It's my super cheesy baked ziti, and it is irresistible. Not only do you have marinara sauce, fresh basil, so much cheese, Italian sausage, it's the ultimate weeknight family dinner, but it's also the perfect meal to take when you're dropping a meal off to somebody. Let's start the countdown to delicious. You're gonna start by kind of almost par cooking your pasta. Anytime I'm cooking pasta, I just like to give it a good stir right at the beginning so those noodles don't stick together. Let's talk about the dish we're baking it in. We're doing it in a traditional 9 by 13 inch dish. And to make cleanup a little easier, I like to spray it with a little bit of nonstick spray before I get started. Now, sometimes I use protein in this recipe and sometimes I don't, but when I do, it is always Italian sausage. I usually look for a mild or a sweet Italian sausage, but if you've got people in your house that love a little heat, get a spicy Italian sausage. I'm gonna use just a little bit of olive oil. I'm pulling that Italian sausage out of the casing and just dropping it into my hot pan. Once that sausage is cooked through, you're gonna transfer it to a paper towel lined plate. Now, it only took me a couple of minutes to do this, but remember, we're only par cooking our pasta. We're not cooking it all the way. So this is actually ready to be drained after just a few minutes. So this is gonna make the base or the sauce for our ziti. We're gonna start with 2 eggs. We're gonna add about a cup of grated Parmesan cheese and a pound of cottage cheese. I wanna season this with a little salt and pepper and whisk it up. Now this is step 1 of our sauce. Let's move on to step 2. You're gonna take 1 cup of heavy cream and add this directly into the same pan that you used to make your pasta and you did not rinse. The reason we're doing this is that there's already starch in that pan from the pasta, and so it's gonna help thicken the sauce, which is just what we want. We're also gonna add about 3/4 teaspoon of cornstarch. That's what's gonna give us that silky texture that makes this sauce so good. After it's thickened for about 3 minutes or so and it's foaming up, you know it's ready. You'll wanna turn off the heat. We're gonna add some marinara sauce, and this is maybe my favorite pantry staple. Nothing beats Rayo's marinara sauce, it's the best. We're gonna add about a cup, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. We'll add some fresh basil, about 3/4 a cup of these mozzarella pearls, and finally, our cottage cheese mixture. Because we killed the heat, we don't have to worry about this cooking the eggs. And the final step is to add our sausage into the sauce. All right, sauce is done. Let's build a ziti. We're gonna add that cooked pasta into our dish, and the sauce and the sausage is gonna go right on top. When all of the noodles are evenly coated with the sauce, it's time to top it off. We're gonna take the rest of our jarred marinara sauce, and I'm gonna use the whole jar and just evenly spread it over the top. We're gonna take about a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan, some fresh basil on top. This is gonna go in a 425-degree oven for 20 minutes or so. Then we're gonna finish it with a blast of the broiler for 5 minutes to get it nice and golden on top. Take a look at that. By broiling at the very end, it gets nice and crispy on top. Crazy delicious. And I always treat myself to some freshly grated Parm on top. This dish never fails me. It's so good every single time.
Next, let's go to sunny Los Angeles and the brilliant Chef Lovely. She's gonna show you how to make the most outrageous French toast I've ever tasted. Here's how to make the perfect French toast every single time.
Hey, my loves, it's your girl Lovely, and I'm gonna show you how to make the most delicious French toast you've ever had. It's golden brown on the outside, it's custardy in the center, and it has those nice crispy golden edges. We're gonna garnish it with a warm blueberry compote and a vanilla matcha whipped ricotta. And when you make this recipe, you're gonna be the king or the queen of brunch. Let's start the countdown to delicious. We want nice, thick slices, about 1 inch thick. This way, there's enough surface area to really absorb all of this delicious custard that we're gonna make in 1 second. We're gonna set our bread to the side while we work on our custard next. Crack 3 eggs right into your dish. 1/2 cup of whole milk, 1/4 cup of heavy cream. For a little sweetness, I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. I prefer brown sugar opposed to white because brown sugar has personality, it has depth. It's white sugar mixed with molasses, all right? Now we're gonna go in with just a kiss of vanilla bean paste. If you don't have the paste, extract will do. Yeah, just a little pinch of salt. I wanna warm this up, so I'm gonna go for 1/2 teaspoon each of cinnamon and cardamom. Cardamom is a bright, citrusy, floral spice. I think it's underused. Grab your whisk and give it a mix. And now it's time to dunk our French toast. We're gonna soak our French toast for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. You don't wanna under soak and you don't wanna over soak. 1 to 2 minutes is that perfect sweet spot. I preheated my griddle pan to medium high. We're gonna cook our French toast in 1/2 unsalted butter and 1/2 neutral oil. I'm gonna use avocado oil. This way, we get that delicious, rich, buttery flavor without burning the butter. Our French toast is done. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes on both sides. I'm gonna pop it into our preheated oven, and we're now gonna make our blueberry compote. A compote is like a jam, a jelly, and a preserve all in one. Ours is gonna be blueberry, and it's gonna be flavored with a little bit of tarragon. 2 cups of washed blueberries, 1/3 cup of brown sugar. We're gonna do the zest of 1/2 of a lemon. We're also gonna add in a splash of water. Give it a stir. We're gonna put it over medium-low heat, and we're gonna let it simmer away. This, my loves, is a whole milk ricotta. We're gonna add this into a mini food processor, and this is a cup. We're also gonna add some vanilla bean paste to this as well. Look at that. So good. We're gonna whip it up. Look how easy that was. Look at that beautiful green color. I'm checking on the compote and we're almost there. You know it's ready when the blueberries have all burst and they've popped open and your compote is nice and thick. Let's plate it up because I am ready to eat. I'm gonna do 2 pieces per serving. Take a nice big dollop of our whipped ricotta. And there it is, French toast, vanilla matcha whipped ricotta with a warm blueberry compote. Mmm, 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 mmm.
Next, we go to Atlanta, Georgia, where Chef Tregaye will teach you how to make the most amazing salted caramel freak shake you've ever tasted.
Welcome back to Countdown to Delicious. We're gonna get into our salted caramel pretzel shake, all right? It's a mouthful, but it's fun. So first things first, I wanna dress the glass first. So we're gonna start off with some pretzels. And then I'm also gonna add in this bag some caramel coated candy. So this is candy stuffed with caramel pieces. Close this bag and just have a little kitchen therapy. All right, we mash it up. Add those crunchy bits to a plate. Then I bought this salted sea salt caramel. I've had it before. It's so good. Listen, y'all, we are all about how to do this quickly, the easy yet delicious. So we're gonna go around the edges of the glass with that caramel, get a nice thick coating. Then we'll go around the edges with the crispy bits. And then we're just gonna put this in the freezer while we make the shake. Inside of the blender, we're gonna do a few of those crunchy bits. We're gonna do a scoop of vanilla. Maybe 2 scoops. Then we're gonna do a scoop of the caramel. Maybe 2. We're gonna go in with our milk, a half a cup of milk. We get the ice cream cup out of the freezer, look at that. Now, then we just pour that in. That looks so good. I'm gonna top it with a bit more of those crunchy bits. I'm gonna add in some pretzels. I'm gonna take this whipped cream and just put it right on top. Take some of that caramel sauce and drizzle that over the top. And there you have it, our salted caramel pretzel milkshake. So good. The chocolate, the pretzels, delicious. This is good.
Welcome to Miami, where Mr. Miami himself, Eddie Zamora, will show you 3 gorgeous gin cocktails. The Gimlet, the Negroni, and the French 75. Eddie is filled with tricks and tips.
Welcome to Eddie's Cocktail Club, where today's subject is gin. You see, gin, it's not just for your grandma's martinis. It's a sophisticated beverage. So today we're gonna make it 3 ways: crisp, classic, and zero-proof chic. We're starting with the Gimlet. See, the Gimlet was originally created as a way for British soldiers to get their vitamin C, a little bit of buzz, and help fight scurvy. The Gimlet is as simple as it is refreshing. I'm using Glendaloug's Wild Botanical Irish Gin because it adds layers of native Irish herbs and citrus for natural and nature-driven twist on this naval classic. Now, I have an ice-filled shaker ready to go, but a little pro tip is if you think you might take a little longer to make your drink, you don't want to dilute it too much, so you can actually pour all of the ingredients in the shaker without the ice in it and then add it to the ice later when you're ready to shake. That way you don't melt the ice as quickly. Little pro tip there. Anyway, so we're starting with 2 ounces of our Glendalough Wild Botanical Gin. Then we're gonna go for 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. Fresh lime juice, as I always say, it is just so important to use the freshest ingredients possible. And then 3/4 of an ounce of 1-to-1 simple syrup. So 1 part water, 1 part sugar. And then we're gonna give this guy a nice shake. Nice and cold on the side. We don't want any of this Gimlet to go to waste. And then I like to serve this in a Nick and Nora glass, just in case any of that lime juice got some pulp in it. We're gonna strain this right into our Nick and Nora. Beautiful. Now you can use lemon twist. I'm gonna use this tiny little dehydrated lime. Cheers. Oh, so good. Second, we're making the most classic of gin cocktails, the classic Negroni. The Negroni is said to be invented in Florence in the early 1900s when Count Camillo Negroni asked for his Americano to be made a little stronger, and yeah, they made it a lot stronger. So this bold, bitter beauty was born. I'm gonna start with 1 ounce of my Ardingstall's London Dry Gin, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, and I'm using Antica Carpano. And then last but not least, we're gonna use 1 ounce of the most famous Italian bitter liqueur, Campari. Just because it looks like fruit punch does not mean that it's sweet. Campari is extremely, extremely bitter. So that's why you have the botanicals of the gin, the sweetness of the sweet vermouth, and then, of course, the bitterness of the Campari. And now you just wanna give this a stir, and our classic Negroni is born. There's just something about seeing it go on the ice cube like that. It looks so beautiful. Cheers. So good. Last but not least, our zero-proof French 75. The French 75 has its roots in World War I. It was named after the powerful French 75 field gun and originally packed a punch with gin and champagne. But this version keeps the sparkle and sophistication just without the boom. Starting off with an ounce of zero-proof Ritual gin alternative, so 1 ounce of this guy. And my cocktail shaker is filled with ice, okay? Then I got half an ounce of fresh lemon juice. I am so lucky to have a lemon tree at my house, so give me that fresh lemon juice. And then we're gonna do half an ounce of 1-to-1 simple syrup. So 1 part sugar, 1 part water. See? Of course, we never want anything to go to waste. And traditionally, this is gonna be put into a coupe glass, but I got these glasses at an antique shop in California, and I was like, I need to keep these. We're gonna strain it into our coupe glass, and then we're gonna top it off with some alcohol-removed sparkling wine. This is by a brand called Joyous that I really, really love. And then a little bit of lemon peel, and there she is, your zero-proof French 75. Very Great Gatsby the way I hold it, but cheers. Ooh, that's really, really good.
And finally, let's travel to lovely London, where Miss Eloise will show us how to make a chewy, fudgy, super simple Snickers slice. And she'll do it in just 3 minutes.
Snickers. Peanutty, caramelly, nougaty, wrapped in chocolate. This is actually one of the most popular chocolate bars in the USA. Today we're going to be making a Snickers slice. This is so quick and easy to make. You only need 6 ingredients and there's absolutely no bacon involved. This is everything you need for your slice. So of course you need Snickers. You also need digestive biscuits, or you can use graham crackers if you're in the US. Salted butter, melted. You can use unsalted butter, but if you do, I would add a pinch of salt to the mix as well. And peanut butter. I like to use creamy peanut butter as it melts really well and it's creamy. So let's begin. Let's start by crushing the biscuits. Break them up as you put them in, because then you can fit more in. Okay, and then we're gonna blitz these to a fine crumb. You're gonna need a large mixing bowl and you're gonna pour in your biscuits and your melted butter, caramel, and then you're just gonna mix it all together until it's fully combined. You're looking for this nice, thick, gloopy paste consistency. Perfect. So now that's fully combined, we're gonna add our Snickers. And you're just gonna fold these through the mix. Perfect, so I'm gonna transfer this into a tin. Now we're gonna pour our mixture. This is an 8.5-inch tin. Like I said, there's no bacon involved with this one, so it's not gonna cook any differently. It's just gonna make it either slightly thicker or slightly thinner. So I'm gonna set this aside and then we're gonna make the topping. I'm gonna break this up into chunks. Oh, it's already breaking, it's because it's so warm in here. If you can't tell, I'm sweating. So I'm gonna heat this in the microwave on a medium heat, so about 500 watts, stirring it in 1-minute bursts until it's fully melted. I'm also gonna melt the peanut butter, so that only needs about 30 seconds. Give it a stir and it should be melted. So I shall be back. So our chocolate and peanut butter is now melted. So I'm gonna start by pouring the chocolate over the base. And then I'm just gonna smooth that out with the back of a spoon. And then it doesn't need to be perfect because give it a little shake, then it should go nice and flat. Just got a little hole there that I will cover up. Little in the middle, another shake. There we go, that looks great. And now grab your peanut butter, and I have conveniently a heart-shaped ramekin here because the point makes it easier to pour, but you could use like a small jug or just like a round ramekin. It will still work perfectly in little lines. There we go. And then grab your knife and in the opposite direction, so it might be easy to turn it around. Actually, I'm just gonna add another little line down here. It's just It looks uneven. And then you're going to drag your knife through. Try not to go down all the way to the base. And then up. And you're just making a really nice, pretty pattern here. Okay, so this is gonna go in the fridge now for at least 4 hours, or you can do it overnight. So, we'll be back. Okay, we are back. So it's fully set now. So we're gonna slice it up. Oh, it is hot. Score the topping first, and that will also make it easier to cut. Okay, amazing. I feel like this is the most even that I've ever cut something. So I haven't got a good cut through of Snickers here, but I can start to see the little specks of Snickers in between. So yeah, that's what the texture should be like. I love it so much. I love like the chewiness from the Snickers, and the base is kind of like fudgy but also biscuity. The peanut butter on top. Oh, it's just amazing. I love it, and it literally takes no time at all. I have caramel in my teeth, I can feel it. See you next time. Bye.